Well, there you go. Welcome, welcome. You know what? I purposely don't listen to the countdown timer because our team changes it every week, and I never know what the music's going to be. And apparently, because they always try to make the music relevant to our guest, there were pictures of our guest that reminded them of James Bond. I'll have to ask them about that in a little bit. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of Live Better, brought to you by the wonderful folks over at Wave.video, which, by the way, the creators not only of the Wave.video editor, but the new live streaming tool that we're using to broadcast this show. And we want you to make sure that if you're not signed up, that you go and do that at Wave.video. Get an account if you don't already have one, and sign up for the beta testing, because it won't be long before we get this to everyone and you're able to play around with this. But we are excited to have you here. Hope you've had a good week so far, and thanks for meeting us right here in the middle. Today, we are going to be hanging out with the one and only. Some people thank the good Lord that he's the one and only John Pullum. I'm not even going to tell you too much about him. I'm going to let him tell you about him. But he's going to be helping us work on our engagement techniques and how to make our live streams a little bit more engaging, how to get the crowd involved. Because, well, when it comes to involving the crowd, he is a master. He's been doing it even before live streaming was a thing, because he did it on stages all over the world, I believe. It might have just been in his backyard. Again, I'm going to let him tell you about him. But while we do have you, don't forget, we want to make sure that you go and like our video, subscribe to our channel, get notifications, click all the things like subscribes, bells, share, comment, press them all. And if you want to, you can go to Wave.video and sign up with your email, and we'll just email you and let you know when we're going to go live again. We'll also send you fun little tips and tricks and things that you can do to help make your live show better, as well as your videos that you edit. But right now, enough of all that. Let's just get our guest out here, and let's get ready to learn together how to live better. Wow.
Good day, everybody. And you too, Chad. How are you? So great to see you. And thanks for having me on the show.
Wow.
I love you. I love you.
Love you too.
Love you.
Love you too. That's not from me. That's from Chad. But I do love you. I love each and every one of you for tuning in today.
Oh my goodness, man, it's good to see you. Of course, you know you're one of my favorite people.
You're one of my favorite too, and it's great to be seen. Before we start, I wanted to ask the viewers. Well, we've kind of already started, but ask them to drop an emoji in the comments. Let me know what kind of day you're having. Is it happy? Is it crappy? If it's crappy, we hope to change that for you. And also let me know where you're tuning in from. Chad knows some of these people. First time meeting many of you, but let me know where you're tuning in from. I'm here in Michigan, where we are getting a winter storm. And probably by the time this is over, I will not be able to get out of the house. So it's freezing. But I would love to know where you guys are tuning in from and how your day is going. So drop those emojis and let me know where you are in this crazy world we live in.
No, wait, John, we're supposed to be talking about ways to get your audience involved and engaging with you. So
what the heck was that about, huh? What the heck was that about, wanting to know where your audience is and how they're feeling today, and getting them interacting with you and commenting and dropping those emojis and feeling part of the show? You know, that's what it's all about. I watch so many shows, so many live shows, that after it's done, I thought that could have been a recording. That might have been a pre-recorded thing where they just pushed the video, because I can see in the chat, people are asking questions and they are not responding. And they're not calling out people by name. Oh, Karina's here. Welcome, Karina. Eric.
Yeah,
Is it
Karina's
Eric?
over.
Eric, right? Eric, that was Houdini's first name. Eric Weiss was Houdini's original name, Harry
Real
Houdini.
name. We have people
But
from all over the globe here. Helsinki, Russia, northwest of England. I don't know what is northwest of England.
the water. I think they're in the
That's
water.
what I thought. So too.
Lyle's here. Lyle has smiley faces. Rouhani. I'm gonna screw that name up. I'm sorry. Has a laughing face.
Yeah,
And
no, absolutely.
yeah,
by the way,
it's tough
if we-
to.
if
But
we can get
they're
our-
interacting and they're here, and that way this is live. And
Pennsylvania.
that's what a lot of people miss out on.
If we can get you guys, our producers, if you guys can put in the chat the link so people can, if they're watching on Facebook, so they can authorize the app. So that's why your name's not showing up. So you need to authorize the app for that. Sorry about that.
Yeah, somebody has like little cold, like freezing emojis, and there's no name or anything. So maybe maybe their Wi-Fi is frozen, but it's not.
Carl's bearded banter
in cold Russia. Oh, Karina, I'm so sorry. I hope you feel better. But yeah, Helsinki everywhere. It's so great. And that's another cool thing about live streaming, especially during like 2020 and the lockdown and all that. Being able to connect with, even if it's a Zoom chat with friends or coworkers, doesn't matter if you have a phone or your computer or an expensive camera, a studio, wherever you're at, you have the ability to go live and to connect with your customers, connect with your students, connect with your patients, depending on what your career is. It's such a great medium that Corona's bad, but it really set all these live streaming apps and services and everything else light years ahead of what we were before with my speaking business. If I were to say, hey, let's stop on a video chat. What? No, you push a button, you have your camera, and you can have your committee there, and I'll show you stuff through the computer, which I'm going to show you something later on. I'm going to show your audience an interactive thing that they can do, but we'll show that later on. So we'll keep watching.
Wow.
But now they go, oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, I do Zoom meetings all the time, or what do you have?
But
Wave.video.
before the whole live stream thing happened, though, let me pause before we get too far ahead. Before the live streaming, you've been engaging with people in some way or another, with audiences before the whole live streaming thing became
I was like
a big
6
deal.
or 7. I've been engaging with audiences. I used to do, when I was 7, 8 years old or so, I loved doing magic as a kid and puppet shows and everything else. And I'm a big introvert, believe it or not, and I love being inside. So when people were like, oh, the lockdown, quarantine, all this stuff, I'm like, welcome to my world. This is once again, I'm sorry the world is, things are happening, but I can stay inside and not, be frowned upon. I'm doing the right thing. But I would do shows out of my bedroom window, and there's kids that were younger than me, kids who were my age, kids that were older would be always tapping on the bedroom window, seeing when the next John Pullum show was. And I was learning, even at a young age, to interact with people. And as I got older, there was this video club in our local community center, and they had VHS tapes, that we recorded on, and we had big, huge, expensive studio cameras at the time, but now our iPhones can do better. So I would be in front of the camera, behind the camera, editing from before I could drive. And then I went to broadcast school. I ended up doing a couple of dozen shows for the Discovery Channel. When I was 16, I started making money at entertainment and went to Japan, went to, all over the place doing my shows. And so, yeah, I'm used to interacting with audiences that speak English and don't speak English. But the one thing that I find is audiences love being recognized, loved being, Carl's here too. Carl from Manchester.
Yep. Did you see?
They love their names being said. Look at that.
Absolutely.
Did
you see?
Green. Oh, she's on the screen. Come on. They put my picture on the screen.
Stephen Kaplan here was just mentioned too. He used to perform magic shows as a kid in Washington Square Park.
That's great. Yeah, it's and that whole thing's changed. virtually, and TikTok videos and everything else that used to be the long, 5-minute patter about the linking rings and, melting to each other, and now it's 15-second TikToks or whatever. It's this streaming and this, like during the lockdown, a friend of mine, a magician, Franz Harari, who is a big mega illusionist, famous magician in the magic world, he said, let's do a talk show. We saw somebody else in the Philippines do it, and they invited us to be a guest, and then we're like, we should do this. We didn't realize the lockdown was still going to be almost going on. So we had 3, 4, 5 shows a week, getting all the, people from Vegas, all these top magicians, Lance Burton, Matt King, Shin Lim that won America's Got Talent. All these top guys were trying to get him on the show before everything opened up again. And then it was like, oh, crap, it's not going to be open. We have to slow down a little bit because we're going to be going through, all the magicians in the history of magic before this is over. But we ended up doing about 115 shows so far, 115 live shows. And I'd only done a few live things. I've been part of a streaming group and whatever, but at first it was very stressful. So for those of you that haven't started yet, even for somebody that's been on stage, it's like, you have to get this right, whatever, the controls right. But as I got into it, it was like riding a bike. I'd be eating dinner and going, I have a show that 6,000 people are probably going to be watching in 5 minutes. I guess I should make sure I don't have anything in my nose and wipe my face off and brush my teeth and go hit the button. It becomes second nature. And the thing that you have to understand is that camera lens is the eyes to your audience. There's so many people that you talk to that are, we have our phones. Everybody has their phones. And if you're talking to somebody and not paying attention, you're talking to somebody that's looking on their phone, they're not paying attention to you. They could be, but it appears to your subconscious mind and everything else. Look at my case. My case has been dropped way too many times. They're not paying attention. So the same thing goes when you're just looking down at your screen, looking down at my picture on your screen. I'm not looking you eye to eye. So you're not getting as much. If somebody is talking to you, there's other live streamers that darn well that they're not listening to what their guests are saying. Oh, they could say, yeah, I just I stepped on a bear trap yesterday and I lost my foot. And my well, that was after the bear ate my puppy. Brand new puppy. Gorgeous little puppy. All right. Well, that's very interesting story. Okay, great. And the next is like, they weren't paying attention to him. So you have to listen. It's one thing if you're looking on your phone, that would be rude. But if you're talking to somebody and go, just hold on 1 second. I just got a text from my daughter. It is a snowstorm here in Michigan. Something happened with the tire or something. I'm going to be dealing. So give me that. Sure. You're pausing that conversation. But if you're just looking away, so make the lens your friend and talk to the lens and your audiences like they were a person. Don't talk at them.
Right.
Talk to them, involve them, ask their questions, look. Yes, I'm going to have to look down and do it. You're doing all the controls here, but I am not focused as much on what's going on here until, the perfect time to look. You don't want to be.
Yeah, and I'm lucky in the situation too, because today we've got Kate behind the scenes who's pulling things up for us and whatnot. Stefan says he uses his phone actually as his webcam, so that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
As well. Another question for you. Before that, guys, just so you know, as always, we always do a giveaway every show, and we choose 3 winners. Those will be from those of you who are engaging with us. Second and third place are going to get, of course, our lovely sticker pack with the coveted yellow Chad sticker.
I had jaundice as a baby too.
This is liver damaged Chad.
I'll drink to that.
Right. So can I get a sticker? But we're also today going to be giving away a Wave.video yellow Chad mug. And the way we're going to choose that winner is we want you to comment 2 things. Hashtag yellow Chad, but also the emoji that shows how you're feeling, or your favorite emoji, because John wanted to make
That's
sure
it.
people were sharing those. So hashtag yellow Chad and an emoji that just lets us know how you're feeling, or it's just your favorite emoji.
And Stefan wrote, winner, chicken dinner. Here's a real quick story. I came up with this. I helped this guy with this marketing idea, and I won the contest. And he's a very creative guy, and he was going to make something for me. And he got into making these swords, and it was like out of like a wood flooring piece, whatever, but it's all inlaid, really cool looking wooden sword. So he didn't tell me what he was making me. So I went to this marketing meeting, and he showed up with this present for me. But first of all, he dressed me in this toga and had the little, the whole costume to set the mood of this thing. And since I was the winner, he looked up, he wanted to put winner, chicken dinner in Latin on this sword. And it was like E pluribus pullum on the box. I have the box on my back shelf. It's a very handmade box, all inlaid for the velvet thing for the sword to go. It's very, very cool. So he was asking his wife, Deanna, he said, how do you spell chicken in Latin? So everybody, if you would open up another browser and type in Google, chicken in Latin. Type in chicken in Latin, and please put the results in the comments. Chicken in Latin in Google. And he was as floored as I was. Chicken in Latin. Tell me the results in the comments. What does Google say chicken in Latin is?
Oh, interested to see how many people follow up on this for you. And
Let's see how many.
No,
let's see how many.
We got Brian Kramer. Thank you, Brian, for answering a question there. Somebody asked a question about what's the best way to place their mirrorless camera so they can easily look at the lens when they go live, but also kind of watch the comments. Now, I will say this, one of the cool things with the new Wave live streaming tool, which we want you to make sure you guys are signing up for, is you can pop the comments out into a separate browser window and place them wherever you want them to put them more in your line of sight. But what's a tip that you use?
I will go to the comments, like I am seeing now. Pullum people are putting. Pullum is chicken in Latin. Pullum, which is freaking hilarious. So my sword says in Latin, Victor, Pullum, Parada or something.
Dimitri said chicken in Latin is
John. Is Pullum. They were floored out of their mind because they were making, so funny. So here I am, 51 years old at the time that I got this sword. And I told my dad, I called my dad, who is now 91. Dad, do you know what Pullum means in Latin? We had no freaking clue. So I feel kind of, bad eating chicken. But
and what's the origin of the name though? Like, how did that become your last name? Who way back in the day was like, oh, that guy.
But you think a Smith? Is it whatever? There's different names that Carpenter, whatever.
Sure. So what did a Pullum do?
How does I'm very interested in names. How does somebody go? Oh, call me Pullum. Most people put Pullman, Pullium. It's Pullum with a UM at the end. Just like chicken, Pullum, just like chicken in Latin, duh, But with, I don't know. So back to the thing. Some people have a teleprompter where they have their iPad or whatever there, and they're looking so they can see the screen through the thing. I think of it no different than if I'm making a speech and I have to look down and call the winner's name, or
sure,
we're here about such and such company. It was back in 1986 is when the original. So you can glance over, like I can see in my peripheral vision. I'm looking at the camera, but I could see you did something. Picked your ear or picked your nose or something. I could see movement, but I don't need to be looking at you in the
Right.
eye on the screen.
Right, because if I do this, you're going to notice.
Yeah. So if you're looking, whatever. Another thing with the comments that is really, it's just like comedic timing.
Right.
So I can't say, I was jaundiced when I was a baby. Now, because you've already mentioned Yellow Chad 3 minutes ago.
Right. Which,
And
by
you
the way,
go,
don't forget, hashtag Yellow Chad if you want a chance
yeah, if you want a chance to win the mug.
to win the mug.
But you'd go, why did he just mention all of a sudden he was jaundiced when he was a baby?
Right.
And there's times that I'm on shows, I comment on YouTube shows or whatever as well, and somebody could say, man, I just did this or that or whatever, and I'd write, I'd never do that or whatever, I just got my hair tangled in the ceiling fan. So I'd write, I'd never do that, which was funny at the time because I'm bald.
Right.
But 5 minutes later, they bring up the comment, John said he'd never do that. What, John, if you're still there, what would you have to be pretty quick on the comments.
Oh, he's pretending. Nobody
don't
actually
bring
said
them up. Don't bring them up later. Like I could scroll back and say, bring up bring up this comment. Hello, everybody, and thanks for tuning. What the heck? That was for the beginning or good morning, whatever. Hi, Chad.
Which, by the way, before it gets too late,
something that's at least say what that comment was about. Oh, going through the comments, this was in regard to.
Exactly. And before we get too far ahead of ourselves, since everybody looked up and Googled what Pullum means,
yes.
Now what I'd like to hear is everyone's favorite way to prepare Pullum. So if you'd let us know in the comments,
like fried, roasted,
yeah, like what's your favorite way to have Pullum, right? Like Pullum on
fried.
I don't know.
I'm fried.
I'd like a nice stuffed Pullum breast, or I don't know, like
I feel pretty plucked up.
We'll be interested to see where that goes. Thing? Okay, so comments and whatnot. Obviously, folks, the show typically we ask questions and we're answering them, but today,
we have questions. You sent me questions. I probably answered all of them already.
We've gone through them all. And so, but what's great is that this whole episode today has been an example of how to do it, right? We're constantly saying, hey guys, let us know this. We're looking at the comments. We're pull them with lemon and capers.
That's it. I like capers.
General chose Pullum.
That's funny. I'm a little spicy. Grilled Pullum and deep fried Pullum. Isn't that funny though? It's like, it's just I was so amazed.
You said earlier though, it's like, I've always felt the same way. If I'm going to watch something live, don't make it something that I could have just Googled and watched.
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them that darn well that they are taped, and you're thinking, I've been waiting for this, and I may as well have. Sometimes I've done on YouTube. I've done super chats. Asking a question, and it's like, you know what, I just put $5, $10, $20 or whatever on the super chat, and this is recorded. I'm not going to get my question answered. I just spent $5, which is great. I'm learning, but
right,
this, I feel it's like the bait and switch. I feel, don't tell me it's live, or if you do a premiere on Facebook or YouTube, a premiere where it's your pre-recorded video. Be there to interact if you can. I mean, crap happens and things go up, but be there to type and thank you. And if your audience is saying, like, I help somebody with their social media, and he's like, I don't want you commenting as me or what, which I get, and I wouldn't say anything bad, but I told him, you have to start commenting to people because people are, hey, so and so, whatever. And if you're not, it's like, hey, what's your favorite way to make Pullum? It's like, and then you don't react to anybody, or, hey, should I do that? Or tell me what you think about such and such. And people, here's another tip. People love to give their opinion. That's why Yelp and everything is is popular and reviews on Amazon and whatever. And
Oh,
we read
definitely.
them
Some people like to give their opinion more than
too
others.
much.
Speaking of opinions, guys, if you have some of you are live streamers, that's why you're here, or to learn how to live better. If you have things that you do to engage with your audience,
Let
share
us
those.
know.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. We'd love to talk about them.
Yeah, that would be great. But I could say, and this is true, back 17 years ago, I got on the bone marrow registry list and I ended up getting a call that I was a match for somebody. A stranger, 49-year-old stranger. He had this blood cancer. Never knew his name. Will never know his name. Didn't know anything about him, but I was a match for this guy. And I went in and ended up having surgery where they drilled 12 to 14 or 15 holes in my hips and extracted my bone marrow in hopes of saving this stranger. I was in pain for a good month, but I did it to show my kids that it's okay to do something for other people, even if it causes you pain and takes time out of your day in hopes to save somebody's life. It's great to do something to pay it forward, even opening the door for somebody or buying somebody coffee in the line behind you. But this is what I did. And you could get 0 comments, maybe 1 like comment. Oh, that was nice of you, whatever. But if you put, like your friend Molly Mahoney says, do you like Brussels sprouts?
Yes or no?
Yes or no? That's Molly Mahoney says that. Do you like Brussels sprouts? Yes or no? Put that on your social media and per Molly Mahoney. Oh, Brussels sprouts. Oh yeah, I like them grilled with some butter. Just with a side of Pullum. You get people out of the woodwork saying whatever. People love giving their opinion. Do a poll on Twitter. Do a poll on your YouTube, community tab. Ask people questions. And that's the same thing, with this thing. Should I wear, I just wore this, little t-shirt from Kohl's today, but
thank you for getting snazzed up.
I know. That's as snazzy as I get. Do you like, should I wear this hat or another hat? Whatever. People love giving you suggestions. I went to Costco a few years ago and put on different glasses frames. Which one do you like? 1, 2, 3, or 4? And it's funny, the one that people, not that one, was the one I'd been wearing for years. My wife's like, oh, definitely not 3. I'm like, honey, these are my, those are ugly. That's what I'm wearing now. Oh, I'm sorry. People loved that. Got so much reaction because people were going, I was going to buy whatever they said, but people love giving their opinions. So during the stream,
we're helping you make poor decisions. You just gotta know your audience.
How do you cook your Pullum? Like you said, it's people love giving you their opinion. So ask for them and acknowledge them. And act, I'm, like I said, I'm an introvert. I would much rather stay home than go to a party, whatever, but act interested. I go to Costco and, hey, Larry, hey, Bonnie, years ago, I was at a pancake breakfast fundraiser thing at my kids' school. And I was the one that they were having flip the pancakes and whatever their celebrity.
I prefer Pullum and waffles, but
yeah, Pullum. Yeah, that's it. Pullum and pancakes. So this lady walks up and I go, hey, Claudia. She goes, hi, John. These are my kids, this and that. She introduced herself and she walked away. I gave them all pancakes and she walked away. And I told the pancake flipper next to me, I said, you go to Costco too much when the sample lady by name. She knows you by name and she introduces her whole family to you by name. But people love hearing their name, especially if they have a name tag on. And I'm usually pretty good, even if they don't. If there's a lot of people, I'll still remember their name. Like there's a Karen at CVS and I ran into her at Walmart. I'm like, hi, Karen. And she was like, huh? They're floored that you remember their name. Another thing is when you call customer service. Oh, thank you so much. I write the name down. Thank you so much, Robert. I appreciate you so much. What's your name? Robert. Great, Robert. Now, two things. They know you know their name. So if they hang whatever, if they're whatever, you know their name. Another little thing I do, and this works. If you're listening, your call is important to us. Please remain on the line and somebody will be with you. So if they answered and go, thank you for calling, Chad or us. Can I help you? I usually pause and go, I'm sorry. I thought your voice is so wonderful. I thought this was still a recording. I'm
Oh,
sorry. And they
wow.
well, thank you. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
Or I ask, if I don't use that line, number one, you just can't go, wow, I like your glasses. Or I like, man, that's a great outfit because you're just talking. Oh my God, your voice is so amazing. I thought it was still a recording. I'm sorry. If they call, thank you for calling Johnson. And, John's thinking, you don't, if they don't have a voice that sounds like, I don't,
You
they
don't
know I'm
want to come
lying at
across as
that
like,
point.
yeah, like,
Yeah. You
I
look
don't believe
marvelous.
anything you're saying right now.
That's it. What are you talking about? But they love even, how are you today? That's another thing. You go to a register and they go, hey, how's it going? And 9 out of 10 people in front of me say, good or fine, thanks. And then they're on their phone, they're whatever. Even a solicitor, a scammer, wanting to get my extended warranty on my car that I sold 20 years ago. You say, I'm doing great. How are you doing? Oh, I'm fine. They're shocked because people don't ask. Oh, they're just the person at the drive-through. You don't know what type of day they're having. Brighten somebody's day, even if they're crappy. Try to make them happy. And yeah, I'm doing great. How are you doing? I usually say, other than a bad hair day, I'm doing great. And they crack up. And I've had people like tear up and say, thank you. I haven't laughed or smiled in such a long time. Thank you. And I laugh even when I'm alone, think of something and laugh out loud. There's a lot of people that need that interaction. And so whether you're calling out Tim, or whoever.
Yeah, Tim wants to have you on his show, by the way. He does a show about perspectives on cancer. So he heard your
Cool.
bone marrow story.
Yeah,
so.
it's people love being acknowledged and know they're appreciated. And another thing I do, and this has nothing to do with streaming, but it's connecting with your audience, and you can do this with your audience. And I believe I've done one for you. If not, sorry. I'll do the little quick video. And I'll say, hey, Chad, thank you so much for having me on your show today. You're just great. I know, we've all been going through some stuff or whatever, but just know that you're appreciated. I appreciate you, whatever. Do a little 60-second video.
Yep.
And email it to somebody, message somebody, text somebody with it. It takes you no time. And I've had people call up or write back and say, I'm crying.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I am bawling my head off right now. You don't know that this came to me right at the right time. Another thing, my ADD is kicking in, man. So it's like, oh, squirrel. Another thing. I was
we've got comments coming out the wazoo too. People are everybody's very engaged, guys. We're loving this.
Great. Another thing is you want to make it visually entertaining for people. If you are on, because he's pulling up comments and whatever. If you are on just a one-shot talking head, can I bring me up to a one-shot? Can you do me on a one-shot there?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is how most of them are, and this is how a lot of the interviews are, and this one kind of has been like that,
right?
Just side by side. So during my friend's show, I am the co-host, the moderator, and I am switching back and forth. So my friend could be going, so Lance Burton, you just left Vegas, and what? So he could still be saying the question, and then I go to Lance Burton.
Right.
Well, my friend's still asking the question, just like the TV. Another thing I'll do is, it's going to look weird on the one shot or the two shot, but I have my thing set up so it zooms in a little bit. So I can be talking. In a moment, I'm going to teach you 3 things. These 3 things are something that you'll want to do to connect with your audience better. Now, and you don't have to do it that much, but I have it set so the screens can change if it gets boring, if it's just me on TV. This one's a zoomed in, but it's flipped that way, whatever. But I always go back from the long shot, and I have a little stream deck. I want to get their little Elgato foot pedal now that you can do it with your feet. But I'll sometimes throw that in. And even with my YouTube videos, I'm learning more and more about editing, but every few seconds it's a different zoomed in or tiny, could be a tiny bit, whatever. You need to visually entertain your audience. You can be telling them the secret of life or the winning lotto numbers for next week. You could be as entertaining as possible, but they may as well be listening to you on audio if you're not visually, those visual interrupts.
Yeah,
And,
no, absolutely.
you
Oh, by
need
the
'em.
way, guys, the people are loved your little camera trick you did just there.
It was a stream deck.
Well, let me
Stream
throw a
deck.
little plug in here, guys. With the new Wave video live streaming platform, you could actually set up 2 separate scenes, and you can resize and move your cameras around right on the screen and have it preset. So you could do that same thing that John just did, right online with a click of a mouse.
Yeah. So instead of a $250 stream deck, you can just click it.
Yep.
And you could have somebody else taking those controls, but you don't need. But I would highly suggest keeping it visually entertaining. And like I said, and later, as I said earlier, later on, I'm going to show you something interactive that you can do right from home. It's kind of taking what I do, my mentalism show that I do for corporations and sales conferences and things around the world. And you're going to be able to interact right through the computer. It's going to blow your mind, but you have to stick around. And also we have the prizes coming up. So you don't want to leave and miss out on the prizes. So you do different things to keep them wanting to watch. It's just, yeah, you like the Zoom thing? Thanks, Tim. Yeah,
I'm definitely
recently did it. I haven't been doing that a long time. Boop. I haven't been doing it. See that? Boop, switches to the other side. The jumping mole. That's what I call that one. But visually entertaining, because I've watched, after moderating and co-hosting the Franz Harari show. If you go to Franz, Franz, Harari, Harary, and go to his video section on his Facebook fan page and look up Quarantine Talk and Talking Magic. I started with here's the thing. Don't just start, hit the go live button, just do it. Doesn't matter. I started on my laptop and I had I don't have any here, but the little, the earphones from your iPod, the little white ones with the little speaker, that was my microphone for the first probably 80 shows. And then I ended up getting a webcam that's really not that great. AverMedia. I got it from Costco. It was a tiny step up. And then I got a better microphone. I have the G-Track Pro. I'm using that now. Hopefully you can hear me good. And then I ended up investing in the Sony A6100 and the Sigma lens. I sold a kidney on eBay and bought that. And then, but you can start. People want to hear you. They want to see you. Of course, it looks good and nice quality and good audio, but no excuses. No excuses. I did a video a few years back. I was walking my dog and just had one at the time. And somebody said, "Oh, did you hear about," it was on another block, "Did you hear about so-and-so?" No, what, I don't know if I knew her or not, but what, well, she committed suicide. Oh, so, but, and I probably had waved. I tried to wave to everybody. I waved to somebody a couple months ago and he stopped and he pulled back. He goes, "Sir, I'm not your ride. I'm not the one picking you up." I said, "What?" He goes, "I'm the Uber driver." He said, I'm scheduled to pick somebody else up down the road, not you." And I said, "No, I just waved. You were driving by and I smiled and waved. I wasn't flagging you down for a ride. I just was being friendly." "Oh, wow, thanks." So I waved to everybody. And so this lady committed suicide and it was horrible. But I went to the local park, felt inspired. I sat at the picnic table, set up my little iPhone, and I talked about how your life matters. It doesn't matter what you're going through. you are loved and whatever. I just did my latest video on my YouTube channel is a little bit about that, and it's okay to have sad days and everything. But I did this video, and I got a call from somebody that I really didn't know well, and he said, "Hey, can I buy a cup of coffee? I want to talk about something." And I'm like, I'm not wanting to join any multi-level marketing things or whatever. I am fine, but thank you. No. Anytime somebody asks you, "Do you want to go for a cup of coffee?" They're going to sign you up, because you have to be one of the 3 people that find 3 people that find 3 people 99% of the time. Or they want to talk to you about their America, whatever. They're now a financial expert after they've just gone bankrupt 20 times. Remerica, whatever it's called, whatever. Probably good people, so they're wonderful. I just don't want to get anybody write me about that. Turns out this guy wanted to commit suicide. His life was going crappy, and he saw this somewhat crappy video I made sitting at a picnic table in a local park about how your life matters and you're worth it and whatever, and things will get better. And he didn't. So by the end of the call, we were both bawling our heads off.
Oh man.
You don't know what you need, whether it's how to repair a lens cap for a Sigma lens. You don't know what people need to hear. And with those videos as well, telling somebody you appreciate them, a teacher, a parent, a sister, the neighbor that just randomly took in your garbage can for you. There's so many times that we'll get up at a funeral and speak about a person and how great they were and all this stuff. I hope they knew that. You hear that all the time. I hope
Oh yeah, it's the worst.
Did you tell them when they were alive? No. You can make that video and there's nobody at the other side going, "Oh, whatever." Just speak your heart. Send that text. Do a handwritten letter, and the United States Postal Service will get there, within 2 days or 500 days. I've never had anybody go, why did you make a video telling me how much you appreciate me, or that you love me, or that you thank me for whatever. You are never going to get a bad reaction for telling somebody you care about them and thanking them at all. And the same thing with the videos. There's no reason not to go live and do things with what you have here with Wave Video, or on your own flip phone or whatever. You can make videos on just about everything. Odds are you probably have 3 or 4 devices in your home right now that you could record a video on. A couple of them are in your drawer that you need to charge that you haven't looked at in 3 years, but they still work for what you need to do. So what was the question?
Guys, obviously it's so obvious. We are talking about how to improve engagement in your live streams. And I would say that today's show has definitely been a clinic in doing that. And what's even better is, instead of this just being, okay, do this, step 1, do this, is we've just done the things that improve engagement. And hopefully you guys have felt involved and a part of that. And something that John does really well, and I would encourage all of you to work on, and you have to write them down so that you remember them, because they're easy to forget. But he teaches and he shares these things, but he does it by also telling stories. And I always say that stories open up a portal of belonging, because you can relate to them. And so instead of it just being a how-to, there's an emotional connection. And just from the comments I've seen, people are feeling that. By the way, we are going to be announcing our winners here in just a second. 2 lucky winners will get our Wave Video sticker pack. And those of you who have been commenting #YellowChad, we are going to choose one winner who's going to get the Wave Video Yellow Chad mug. Hey, John, I was going to show them. I told everybody that you could do this with the new tool here. So watch this. If I do, there's me. And if I do this, ta-da. So
yeah, and you could even have it so it doesn't have those, you want it to look like the same scene. So you could have, in my opinion, so you can have those graphics still on the other scene too when you come up. And it just, or even that, even with the, let me rephrase that, even with the visuals changing, it sets off whatever part of your brain to go, whoop, it's something's different. What's different? Something's different. It could be a tiny little dot that have to pay attention. Something's different. And another thing, real quick tip, when I was doing the Facebook show with my friend, the results on the iPhone and the results on my computer and the results on the service that we were using before Wave.video came out, the comments came in different. So I would sometimes tell them to put in at this other thing I'm using that I'll not say. You could put in hashtag yellow chat or whatever, all one word.
Right.
And they had a little thing where it would take everybody's entry and boop, 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 and select a winner. There's also wheelofnames.com, wheel of names.com. And you can enter if you want to, depending on how many people you have, all their names, and it's a spinning random thing. Because people, I commented before Megan did. Why did Megan win? My comment was on first. And I'd have to say, whatever comes up on my cell phone first is a winner. I'm sorry, this is what we're going to choose, but this is whatever. So some people, I won or whatever. But you have to tell them whatever comes up on this first is the official thing.
Yep. And what I do is I tell you, whoever the producers of the show behind the scenes, let me know one.
Yeah, and that's even if there is no producer behind the scenes, the producer behind the scenes.
You're right. Yeah.
Lyle asked, how often do you suggest changing scenes to improve engagement? With my videos, and it depends on your market. If you're a therapist,
but video is different than live too, though.
It is, but with my videos, with my YouTube videos, it's every 4 or 5. Sometimes if I'm talking about something emotional, it's a few seconds. But go, like I said, go watch my last video all the way through. Leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe, click the bell notification button. But it's youtube.com/John Pullum is my YouTube channel. youtube.com/John Pullum. The latest one, it says happy and sad, and it has me, the same picture for both. And you'll see how I was showing somebody my screen the other day in another Facebook group I'm in, and there's so many edits. It's crazy. But it's whatever your viewers want. You know, in my videos, it's every 4, 5, 6 seconds. I mean, it's pretty dang quick, sometimes faster. But it depends on your audience. But don't go, like I'm not changing it now because I look like a freak doing that. But every couple minutes, every minute,
right,
every 5 minutes, but don't have a full hour without anything. And even the comments popping up are visual interrupts. But just to have 2 talking heads or 1 talking head or 4 talking heads for the whole hour, it gets visually, because there's so many things to flip through. You want to stop the scroll, as they say. And because I'm so ADD. I mean, I'm like, if it's not visually whatever, if I'm
absolutely not, the movement brings your attention back in too, right?
Somebody's
like, even if they turned away for a second and then all of a sudden, oh, whoa, wait, now, right? And and it's like, oh, wait, and he got bigger.
Here we go. And then oh, wait, he's flipped around, whatever.
Did he draw a smiley face on top of his head?
Whatever.
What was that?
Yeah, he has a wee. I'm in Michigan. There's all different visuals that you can do. Do a super chat. Whatever you want to do. There's so many things that you can do, whether it be overlays or whatever. Just keep it entertaining for the person. And the same thing with the speaker. And I try, when I book my speaking engagements, I say, if you are looking for somebody that stands behind a podium and talks at your audience, please don't hire me. If you want to hire somebody that interacts with your audience, I'm in and out of the audience. If you have the house lights dimmed and the beautiful theater lighting, whatever, I want the house lights at least 80% up, because I'm in and out of the audience and I'm talking, hey, Bob, whatever, is that Bob with 1 O? I'm talking to the audience and interacting with them and involving them, and they're on stage and I'm out there. And that's how I break that invisible wall with the streaming as well, is talking to, Lyle and, everybody, Tim and other names I cannot pronounce. It's yeah. And another little tip, I usually start off the here's how I used to start off each video. Good day, everybody. It's me, John Pullum. If 90% of the people that are watching your YouTube videos are finding you for the first time, odds are they're not subscribers. So you can't, I want to learn how to change the battery in my Toyota Prius. I'm going to the video for that. I don't want to hear, hey, good day, everybody. Just having a nice cup of hot cocoa. It's kind of a chilly heat. Next, where's the one that's going to get me my info? So I took out the good day, everybody, at the beginning of the last video, at least, and probably the other ones. And I put it at the end. If they're still at the end, good day, everybody. Like, goodbye.
People Paul want Harvey, right?
Quick.
Good day.
Yeah, good. They want it quick. And that's another way. Just get their attention quick and keep them visually entertained. Like I said in the video you'll see on YouTube. The first, I'll go in longer segments as I get into it, but the first, I want it because they could keep scrolling. I want to keep them, visually and everything entertained. And I go through the whole video and I look and you see the dips in the audio. And this is for not live. I'm sorry, I'm going off track.
Sure.
But I'm John Pullum. That cut it. Anytime, there's 3 things I really want to talk about. Number 1, in that pause, I cut it out and I do a little zoom or something. Every little breath, every whatever that is not 100. There's times that silence is great. There's times that silence is needed. Just like now. There's times that I think about things in my life and how I could have changed something. That is needed there. If I was saying, there's times I think about things in life and how I need to whatever. So I wouldn't cut those pauses out if it's necessary. And the same thing goes with your live streams. Hit them fast. Hit them quick. Yep. And then if you want to kind of casually get into, your slower scenes or whatever, but get them interested, get that hook in them. Like there's an interactive thing coming up. There's prizes coming up. That's going to engage your audience.
Speaking of, wow, time is flying by.
It is.
We're going to announce our winners here in just a second. But first, John, you have something kind of special here for everybody, right?
I do. And one other quick tip as my ADD goes out of control. I do have like behind the head earphones. And I suggest, even if you're doing a solo show, have, if you can, earphones. And it doesn't matter if they're dangling down, because if my mic goes out, if I hit something and my mic goes out, I know if I lost my audio because I can hear my voice in my head. I can hear other voices. No, no.
It's like all of
I will not kill Chad. He's nice and he's yellow. He's my friend. So I suggest that. So what I'd like you to do, Chad, is let's go full screen on this video, and all of you get ready to touch your computer. If it's going to pause it, don't. But at least get your finger, this finger. There's other choices. Get this finger close and get ready to touch your screen. Get close to the screen, because earlier in the show, and I had a couple of different videos to choose from, but I just uploaded it a second ago. I had you drop your favorite emoji. I've been looking at the questions as well, but I've been looking at the emojis that you drop on the screen, even in the very, very beginning, the different emojis. See, that was a mystery person, but the different emojis you've been dropping. And I kind of know some of you already. And I think if this works out, I will be able to connect with you right through your computer. And if it does work out, I want you to put in the chat that it worked for you. If I don't connect with you, scroll to the next video. Get out of here. No, I'm kidding. All right, let's do this. Can you bring it full screen, or should I click it?
Yep, I got it.
Here we go. I'm going to attempt to read your mind right through the computer. Are you ready? Point to any object on the screen. Point to any object you like. Now, Move your finger to the closest unicorn head. Move your finger to the closest unicorn head. Make sure it's the closest. Now, move your finger to the closest taco. Move your finger to the closest taco. And last but not least, move your finger to the closest smiley face. Move your finger to the closest smiley face and keep it right there. I'm going to try to find out where you are. Oh, there you are, right there. I hope you're having a happy day, and thanks for letting me read your mind. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, John Pullum on YouTube. Thanks. It worked. It worked for me, and I hope it worked for you. Now, the taco and the unicorn, Melanie Diane Howe talks about tacos. She is so great. And if you don't know Melanie, go look up Melanie Diane Howe on YouTube. She's just a ball of energy. But she always says, buy me a taco instead of buy me a coffee. And
I like it.
The unicorn is Luria Petrucci and Callie over on livestreamingpros.com. They always have their unicorn thing and everything else. It worked. Great. I'm seeing it worked. It worked. Whoa. Karen says, whoa. Stefan read my mind. Anita, that was so awesome. This was awesome. It worked. You're great, John. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate you. Hey, Chad and John from Anita as well. It looked like it worked for a lot of people, and that is wonderful. But this is involving, see that? See what I did there? This is involving you guys, and you're all different parts of the world, Russia and everywhere. But I'm involving you, and I'm calling you out, and I wanted your opinions, whether it worked or not. Tim, Tim says, "Oh, it's yeah, I'm going to do that with pineapples." Anita said, "It's yeah, mind blown. That is so wonderful. And that's what I want. And you don't have to do mind reading, but you have to blow your audience's mind, or at least let them know that you're talking to them." One last real quick thing for presentations. A friend of mine, Bruce Gold, who goes and does these gold nuggets on Franz's show, and he's a consultant for magicians and what have you. Somebody said, did I do it wrong? There's nobody doing it wrong, Carl. It's just, go back, watch it again, and try it again. And yeah, there's nothing wrong. There's just,
it could have been the beard.
Happy mistakes.
It might have been the beard.
Is that it? Is that whatever the painter guy? There's happy accidents. But Bruce talks about painting the room, and I don't think it is his idea, but they talk about painting the room. So when you're on stage, picture your audience as a canvas, and you look at least at you're painting the room with your eyes. Throughout your presentation, you're looking different places. Now, an audience of 1,000 people, you can't, they're not going to know if you're looking directly into their eyes, but they're going to think you are. So you paint the room with your eyes as you're talking. You're not going like this. Just every once in a while, next time you look up, look to another portion of the room. But you want, before the presentation is over, to have looked at least toward most of the room. Same thing with your audience. Let them know that you are there. Rich, Comet, and math. It's, you let them know that, or am I in a dream? He says, you've been hypnotized. He said, we're going to snap it out of it. No, you never have. And you're going to be, when I snap my fingers, you're going to cluck like a Pullum. Call back. But let them know that you've at least, I can't mention everybody if there's a ton of people, but they never know if you're going to mention them. And I love that during the live streams as well that I do. Hey, Anita, welcome, or whatever. Even if I'm not taking questions from people, if I'm giving them a tour of someplace, hey, Anita just tuned in, and they're going, oh my crap, they just called my name. That's how you're able to paint the room of your live streams and feel just like the people do when I'm on stage, that I looked at them at least at one point and connected with them. And people need, especially now with the world going through what they're going through and forevermore, they need to feel like somebody connected with them. They feel like they're appreciated. And I appreciate all of you watching, especially you, Anita.
Love it. Let's
Yeah.
give some stuff away.
Let's give some stuff away.
There we go.
Very nice.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the time has come. I feel like you won a really big head to put on your wall.
That's it.
All right, 3 winners, and it was based on your engagement, and also, of course, the grand prize based on using the hashtag YellowChad. First of all, of course, thanks to John for being here and just sharing incredible wisdom stories. If we didn't get to your questions, I know John's good about this, and I will go back as well. We'll answer those in the comments after the show. But without further ado, our second and third place winners.
Drum roll.
Yeah, well, we'll wait. Maybe we'll do a little. There's a little suspense there. Okay, are Richard Down and Carl's Bearded Banter, which I'm going to assume is not on your birth certificate. That being said, though, reach out to us. You can message us on Facebook. Ideally, email Yulia at Wave.video. We'll get that information up on the screen for you. And we will be sending you an official Wave Video live streaming sticker pack.
And do me a favor. When you get that, post a picture on Twitter, because we want to know you got it. Post a picture on Twitter if you're on Twitter and tag Chad, tag myself, and show a picture of YellowChad on your forehead or something. But we'd love to know that you got it. And, you know, whoever wins a coffee mug or whatever, tag us, because we'd love to know. See, that's more how you interact with an audience.
More interactive. You know, somebody sent me a picture. They put the YellowChad on their Christmas ornament, so I ended up on their tree.
Very nice.
Yeah,
I had real quick. Do we have a second? I went to Fiverr and had a little character of myself made because Billy Mays. But wait, there's more. With OxyClean, you can clean your car. That guy, he passed away.
Right.
And they had Billy Mays stickers made at his funeral. I didn't go to his funeral. I didn't know him personally. I knew people that worked with him. So they sent me a couple of Billy Mays stickers, which I have. But I thought, and then they had people, where in the world is Billy? So people are putting these Billy Mays stickers everywhere and posting pictures of Billy Mays stickers. And I'm like, why not do it when you're still alive? So I made these stickers, sent them out to a few people, and I have on my John Pullum fan page. I haven't done it in a while, but people are posting pictures of, find John. It's like, where's Waldo? Some of the pictures are really tough to find where they stuck me. But that's, I would love to see where you stick Chad.
Boy, yeah, I've thought about asking this, and with some of the crowd of people I know who tune into this show, I was like, the FBI is going to end up at my house.
You don't want to go in Facebook jail. You don't want to have your account. So
or jail.
What do they call it? The little pasties? Get a couple of Chads.
Chad pasties. There you go.
That's not illegal to have Chad
That sounds
pasties.
like we should give away a coffee mug because this conversation's going places it shouldn't. All right. The winner of their own Wave Video YellowChad Live Better coffee mug. How you like that little ending to the drum roll?
That. Very nice. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up.
Stephen Kaplan.
I would have put Stephen too. Stephen's been very, very interactive and really great. Appreciate everybody. So much interaction here.
Yeah, no, it's been a great show. Everybody's really enjoyed it. I think if you didn't join us live, watch the replay. But
I hope I was on topic enough because I went anywhere from YouTube videos to how to shovel snow, I think. But it's engaging. I hope. Let me know in the comments if you got something out of it. If you got anything out of my time here, I hope it is that 60-second videos to show somebody you really appreciate them. Do it now, because you don't know what's going to happen in 5 minutes, and you don't want to think about somebody and I'm going to do it tomorrow and then get that call, the call that we all get that they passed away. Life is too short, my friends, and make somebody happy. Pay it forward, and we need more of it.
Thanks so much, John.
More love.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Oh, guys. Here we go.
Oh no, we're good. Love having you. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you can check out the replay, of course, and join us.
Is it done yet?
It's like, that 6 minutes we went over is killing me right now. Oh, yeah, I need a refill. Stat. No, it was a great time, everybody. We look forward to seeing you next week. Next week we've got Jeffrey Fitzgerald, who is I know, incredible guy. He's going to be
great,
talking about how to make your live stream look more like TV. So tune in. We'll be here next Wednesday, noon Eastern.
A bucket of Pullum.
Bring yourself a bucket of Pullum, because we're going to learn together how to live better.